Well, next on the programme tonight, a Suffolk MP has issued a stark warning over the number of children in her constituency missing out on school because they have special educational needs.
Jenny Riddell-Carpenter, the MP for Suffolk Coastal, told us it's devastating to hear so many stories from families who are affected, especially when a purpose-built SEND unit in the county currently stands empty.
Well, the County Council says it's working to create more places, but one mum from Wangford near Southwold says she fears her son has been forgotten. Tanya Mercer reports.
I had an email from Corbyn's SEND caseworker. It says like here they wouldn't be able to meet Corbyn's needs. I'm getting this all the time with all the specialist schools.
Debbie says her 14-year-old son Corbyn is lost in an education system that's failing him. He has autism and hasn't been to school for almost 3 years. She's had to give up work to look after him and his mental health is deteriorating.
Because he hasn't been in education for so long, he's just thinking to himself, you know, like, what's the point? I'm doing everything I can. I feel frustrated for Corbyn because I just feel like he's just been pushed to one side, like he doesn't matter. You know, and he does matter and he does deserve the education that all the other children are getting.
And sadly, Corbyn isn't alone. A new report by Suffolk Coastal MP Jenny Riddell-Carpenter paints a worrying picture. The report found that 58% of students had to miss school because their needs were not being met, with 23% missing a year or more. And the findings also highlighted the wider impact on families, with 51% of parents and carers saying they were struggling with the challenges and were not getting the support they needed. One of the recommendations of the report revolves around this site. This was Saxmundham Free School. It closed last year but has a purpose-built SEND unit, opened in 2022 following an investment of £1.4 million. Now it stands empty and unused.
So we've got this amazing provision with a large school that has capacity and capabilities to support Suffolk, and more than just Suffolk Coastal, Suffolk as a whole. And we just need to make sure that that school is open as a dedicated special educational needs school. That should be a key focus, and that's a really good opportunity for us to move forward and tackle the SEND crisis here in rural areas like Suffolk Coastal.
Other recommendations include working with primary schools in rural locations to use extra capacity for SEND education, and the local county council creating clearer communications and action plans for families.
What we want this report to do is to be an increased voice for what is needed in Suffolk, and that is urgent change. We need that change. We need to change the outcomes for our children and young people in Suffolk. And many of those children and young people do not have long. We need that change to happen very fast.
Suffolk County Council say they've earmarked the Saxmundham site for a SEND school, but are waiting on the findings of a review by the Department of Education. It added it's agreed the creation of 200 new SEND places across the county over the next 2 years, which equates to an investment of £18.6 million. But for families still struggling, the current framework is not only frustrating, but depriving their children of the education and opportunities they deserve. Tanya Mercer, ITV News, Wangford.
Well, the Department for Education said in a statement that they are aware that too many children are not having their needs met. They said as part of their plan for change, they are investing £1 billion into SEND nationally and £740 million to encourage councils to create more specialist places in mainstream schools, £9.4 million of which will be in Suffolk.